Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I want to do a bit of a breakdown of a video which has just dropped with Ash and Cirilla. Mainly because it's like covering a load of points which I have tried to cover over the last few weeks. So I did a video recently where I called out kind of what would I like to see next in Raid. I also did the big kind of dream video where I was kind of talking about some changes that I would make if I took over the game. Ash has had a chance here to talk to Cirilla. I will pin his full video down below. I'm not going to steal his thunder and go into like the full depths of it. He's had a good like 25-minute chat with Cirilla. I'd encourage you all to go and check out that video in full. I'd also encourage you to sub to Ash if you haven't already. He's a great content creator in the scene. I'm going to pull out some of the things which are biggest kind of topics for me and just talk about, you know, little bits of the chat that happened and whether I feel like it's moving in the right direction. And you can see here, Ash gets a cool kind of shout out in terms of the work that he's doing here with Cirilla. So let's just get started. The first one which just dropped in the video is kind of like, you know, why are we not seeing 2022 as the year of PvP like we were told it would be? And, you know, it's a big elephant in the room, honestly. There was a war, and the war massively affected the developers of Raid and all of the Raid team. And Cirilla actually comes out and says, you know, we're probably about 9 months behind where we wanted to be. Which really means that, you know, stuff that was planned to drop towards the end of this year is probably going to be dropping towards the middle of next year. So it's quite an exciting time still. 2023 is going to be the year of PvP rather than 2022. And they don't go into a bit more depth, and I'll come back to that in a second when we get to it. So the next big thing, you know, they kind of have a little chat about this tower here, and Ash is asking the question, is this going to be a book tower? Is it going to be a way to farm books? And it's pretty resounding, no, that's not going to be what it is. And in fact, there's no plans for that. And I'm kind of like I'm a little bit on the fence here, right? We should have a way to actively use our resources to get pages of a book, which then forms up to be a tome. Yeah, we should have that. But I do feel like they have added more options now than ever before to collect them. Yeah, on the free-to-play, you know, pretty much whenever I've got a legendary so far that I've wanted to book, I've booked. Epics, my epics are booked. Rares, I've got more rare tomes than I need. And I've been playing the free-to-play about 160 days. Now, that's because I'm choosing when to use those resources quite carefully. And certainly when I was a newer player, and if I play other games like this, I waste those resources really quick. Yeah, in fact, I'm doing a playtest for another game right now, which is quite a cool game, by the way. And it's got a similar type of mechanic around books. And I found myself in the kind of like playtesting, burning those valuable resources. And I know that I will come to regret that down the line. Yeah, and that's exactly the same for a new player coming into Raid that doesn't have all of the kind of understanding around these resources. It's quite easy to burn those resources. And then you're like, how do I replenish them? And the replenishing is slow. So although I kind of get where Cirilla's coming from or Raid are coming from in terms of like you can find ways to get them, I'd rather be able to push some of my resources into it and force it, which they've said that's not really going to come. So Ash mentions this Forearm boss in the video and he says, you know, is this still in development? Is it still coming? And is it related to the old Void Tower in the top left? And Cirilla actually comes out, and honestly, I don't know why she didn't just drop it for Ash in this video. I don't know why she didn't just do it because he's basically asked a question, is something happening here? And she has said, you will get the details in 2 days. Yeah, all of the details are coming out in 2 days about this. And it's going to add more depth to the game. And it's going to be related to some of the stuff that we do within PvP for 2023. I'm like, if you're going to give Ash this exclusive, why don't you drop the details for him? It would have made his interview so much more compelling. Because really, it was a lot of, we can't really tell you, we can't really tell you. And that happens a lot in these interviews. Like, Ash pushes in this interview for sure. But it didn't really get a whole lot of detail. But it looks like within a couple of days, we are going to get a full news drop on what used to be called the Void Tower. Now it's just known as Sky Peak. It went from purple to red. Finally, something's going to drop. And is it going to be that kind of forearm monster? We will find out really soon. So yeah, get yourself preparing for a new content drop. And it is going to be dropping within this year, which is pretty cool. Ash goes on to talk about Great Hall. There's more in the video, by the way. I'm not giving you all of it. I'm just telling you some of the most compelling parts for me. Ash mentions Great Hall. He says some people like myself, I cap them out. Some people find it incredibly slow to develop. Is there going to be a change? The answer is yes, but not in the near future. So it's definitely something they know is not right for all of the player base. Whether you're super end game or very early game, it doesn't feel like a great system for people either trying to catch up or for people that have done it. And it's like, well, what should I do now? What's the point in me doing Arena anymore? So I'll be interested to see, but they've said that's a concept for 2023. Okay, could Dungeons 25 Plus happen? The answer was they can happen, but they want a kind of compelling reason to do it. It's not in like the near future. Now, this next one was exciting for me. So Tag Team Arena, I think hands down the worst content in Raid. For me, it's easily the worst content in Raid right now. It's basically take the arena, copy paste it 3 times, and there's no decent rewards for it. The Bazaar's a bit of a crap show right now, shit show, and it's like they could do so much more. They could give us a different form of arena content. That's one thing. And even if they didn't do that, they could make this Bazaar 1,000 times more compelling than it is. The only reason that people love the Bazaar is for Drex. Drex disappears, and you're like, damn, what's left? Yeah, it's really... the feature's been around for a long time, and it's just not great. And I've talked about this a number of times in videos. And what's interesting here is that she has said there will be a change to Tag Team Arena, at least around the amount of time it takes people on a day-to-day. That's one thing. She also said there will be a change to the Bazaar. Yeah, so the Bazaar is going to change. I really hope they've watched some of my other videos and come up with a way more compelling system. I really do. Or they go above and beyond that and actually come up with some really cool ideas, within their teams. I'm not saying I know everything, but I feel like some of my ideas around this are pretty cool. But they're saying this is, and I'm going to quote here, this is in their immediate focus. This is an immediate focus for them, and it's coming soon. So I'm really excited to see what comes out of that. Whether it's in the next couple of patches, hopefully within 2022 for sure. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what they do, and I do hope, although this is a stretch, I hope they change the game mode a bit. I don't feel like she was talking like a different game mode type. It felt like just more of speeding it up in some way, and I don't know how that would be done. So that's a kind of watch this space. Ash pushes on the Doom Tower champions that you can get, basically saying, look, there's all these different champions. Some of them are really cool. Some fit people's accounts, some don't. Is there any way that we could change it so that you select the next one that you want to get? And it's pretty much like we haven't thought of that, but we're open to suggestions. I mean, I must have said it 20 times, but yeah, hopefully they take that on. Hopefully Cirilla feeds that back through, because it is something, if you're a new player right now coming into the game, you eventually start to beat Doom Tower, and then it's like, crap, I actually want Dark Kale. I've got to beat Doom Tower for the next 2 years to get the champion I want. It's like, come on. It's ridiculous. So hopefully they do kind of listen to Ash's point there. The last thing I'm going to call out in this video, and as I say, go and watch Ash's video in full. It's a good video, is Hydra. So Ash kind of talks about, once you've got yourself Mithrala, what's next? Yeah, once you've done the Mithrala, you've got the fragments. It's like, yeah, you know what? If I like PvP, Stone Skin's the best set in the game. Yeah, Clan Gold is actually pretty juicy, but can we not replace the Mithrala fragments with either other fragments for, I don't know, previous fusions? Could we ignite life tokens to mean something and replace the life token champions on a monthly basis? Or could we just get some sort of shard fragments or something, shard drops in here as a chance when Mithrala is done? Cirilla says there will be something else replacing Mithrala once you get her, but it didn't sound like the type of things that I've just mentioned there. So again, hoping that they listen to the community a bit here. Because if it's just another gear set that drops into this slot, gear sets are crucial to play this game well, okay? They're crucial, but they're not sexy. They're not a sexy reward. And I feel like you need the gear set and you need the sexy reward to make like a cool feature. That's why Clan Boss works so well. You get the sexy rewards and you get the great gear sets, and it's like that. Win-win. Yeah, win-win. We want to do it daily because we know how important it is. Yeah, I've got to say, I'm pretty psyched after watching the interview. I'm really excited to see what happens in the next couple of days when they drop this info. I guess watch it here. You know, I'll make sure that I get something out as soon as I see what's going on. There you go, guys. I've been Hell Hades. Make sure you check out Ash's video in full. I will see you later.